order at this time. We're running just a little bit behind, but we are getting ready to begin our meeting at this time, and we would ask that you just stand with us for a moment of prayer and remain standing afterward for our pledge of allegiance. So at this time, if you would just bow your heads with us. Father God, we're grateful for this opportunity that we have to come together and conduct the business of our town. We're so grateful for all of our citizens, and we pray your continued blessings upon our town and upon all of our citizens. And we pray that everything that we do in this meeting will be done in such a way that it might bring you glory. This we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Join me for our pledge of allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We're grateful to have all of you here this evening for our December meeting. At this time, we will ask Angela if she would give us our roll call.
Trustee Holmes. Here. Ernest Purdle.
Here.
Deborah Burking. Here. Tommy Turner.
Here.
Jesse Giles.
Brother.
Jimmy Robinson. The November 6th meeting was called to order by Mayor Dan Downing, board members Ansel Grover, Olson Holmes, Ernest Purdle, Deborah Burking, Jesse Giles, and Tommy Turner. Jimmy absent. A motion was made by Jesse Giles to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Second, Tommy Turner. Motion carried. Communication from the mayor was given, and Captain Hatch presented awards of achievement to Rodney Reaver, Desmond Williams, and David Neighbors. Comments from the citizens were given. Business, a motion is made by Tommy Turner to select Stephen Stanley as the town municipal code of ethics administrator. Second, O.C. Holmes. Motion carried. A motion was made by Deborah Burking to approve the second reading of the board's public comment ordinance. Second, Ernest Purdle. Motion carried. A motion was made by Jesse Giles to approve the compensation of mayor and alderman ordinance. Second, Deborah Burking. Motion carried. New business. A motion was made by Jesse Giles to declare emergency purchase for sewer line repair advised by City Attorney Nathan Pride, and approved BAM invoice payment of $38,036. Second, Deborah Burking. Motion carried. A motion was made by Deborah Burking to approve the first reading of water and waste ordinance to amend the town's code regarding service connection charges or tapping fees to connect to the town's water and wastewater system. Second, O.C. Holmes. Motion carried. A motion was made by Deborah Burking to approve the first reading of leak adjustment policy amendment. Second, Tommy Turner. Motion carried. A motion was made by Jesse Giles to approve the first reading of the water and wastewater rate amendment. Second, Ernest Purdle. Motion carried. A motion was made by Deborah Burking to approve a donation of $2,500 to the Whiteville Food Bank. Second, O.C. Holmes. Jesse Giles opposed. Motion carried. A motion was made by Deborah Burking to approve the October 2023 bank invoices. Second, O.C. Holmes. Motion carried. Reports from officers, staff, and board members were given. Having no other business to come before the board, motion to adjourn was made by Tommy Turner. Second, Jesse Giles. Motion.
All right, you've heard the reading of our minutes from our previous meeting. Is there any comment as relate or questions as relate to those minutes? If there are none, we will entertain a motion that we approve our minutes from our last meeting.
I make a motion to approve our minutes of last meeting.
I second.
All right, the motion's been made and met with a second that we approve our minutes from our last meeting. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. All right, next on our agenda here is call for communication from the mayor. And I will take this opportunity to comment on what we will be doing going forward with our comments from our citizens. We want to make sure that all of our citizens are heard when they want to bring something before the board in particular. But in order for us to do that and be able to utilize our time more effectively, what we will ask you to do, going forward, if you want to address the board, stop by City Hall and just pick up a slip or form, or fill out a form, and with whatever you would like to say or address the board regarding, and we will, take that form and put you on the agenda to address the board. Because what we had found out, is that many of our questions or, as it relates to things going on in town can be addressed right there in City Hall without, unless it's something that you specifically want to address the board on, then certainly we will give you the opportunity to do that. But we want to do it, in a more efficient way, because we really don't, during our board meeting, we really don't have time to have lengthy debates, as regard whatever might be going on in the city. Nevertheless, we want to make sure that you are heard and that you are given that opportunity to do that. Okay. So that's what we want to do, and those are my comments or communications to the board. And but if you have any questions about that, then certainly. But we want to make sure all of our citizens are heard. If you have any questions regarding anything going on in town, we want to make sure that you are heard. But we're trying to figure out a more efficient way of doing it. Okay? All right.
That's starting tonight, huh? Going January or what?
Well,
Starting in February.
starting, well,
So what he's talking about?
are there any comments from any of the citizens on tonight? Would you step to the podium?
How are you?
Good.
First and foremost, I want you to know what a wonderful police department you have. Mr. Ben Johnson here. I especially want to,
Ben Davis.
Ben Davis, I'm sorry, I even wrote it down.
Okay, that's Captain Davis, okay.
One of my doctors has been,
I've been called worse.
Okay.
okay.
Chief Davis, yeah.
The police department here is awesome.
We think so too.
They're awesome.
We did.
I especially want Mr. Ben to know that Officer Williams, how long has he been with you?
This is going on 2 years now.
2 years? Keep him. He is wonderful. And I don't know the other officer's name, but he drives by my house a lot. And the first time he came by, I think he thought I had escaped from the nursing home. Because I had on my house coat and slippers, and I was going through boxes, and he stopped, he drove by once, and then he drove by again, he said, "Are you okay, ma'am?"
It's gotta be Randy.
What's Randy's last name?
Warren.
I think that was Randy. Anyway,
Sounds like.
you run a great department, and I'm sure everybody here agrees that he is doing a wonderful job. Fire department. I think they're doing a wonderful job. I went to the post office the other day at about 5:30, and I thought it was on fire. And I called, and they went out and checked on it. Turns out somebody had just been in there smoking pot. And I did not recognize.
They got a new name for a nice cologne.
I need to
That's
get
why
that
we call it
program.
cologne.
It's called cologne?
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in the 60s and 70s, we called it pot, so.
Yeah.
I never partook of any of that. Anyway, when is this sewage line gonna be finished that they're putting through over here? And they still have the cones out and everything, what's the,
We don't have a completion date on that. We know it did extend up to next year. It went over because we originally had a completion date of October. Well, we passed that because they had difficulties getting some supplies that they needed. So there was a delay. And they just got back on it, I guess around the end of November. Started back working on it.
Okay,
But we don't have a completion date, as of yet.
okay, so those cones are gonna be there till whenever, right?
Right, they're gonna be there for a while.
And the other thing I have is just a small matter. Y'all owe me $10.
Oh, okay.
Pick it up this Thursday.
Yeah, pick up your $10 this Thursday.
This Thursday?
You want me
You mail it to me,
Okay.
because I think I told you this before, I'm a hospice nurse, I work about 80 hours a week. I ain't got time to go to your office, honey.
All right, okay, well, we'll have, Chief Davis hand delivered, you know.
And
We'll get there.
when I get that $10, I'm gonna donate it to some wonderful church, which God.
Well, that's enough. We won't go on within the city. Union, all right.
School.
The school, Whiteville Elementary School.
Let me ask you this. Who in here is related to Bubba Matthews?
Right
I
here,
am.
my step,
And that's his wife right there.
and I'm his stepdaughter. Hello.
Okay,
That's his wife.
Okay.
Stay right behind my house.
I'm giving that $10 to Bubba Matthews because he's married to the prettiest woman in Hardin County.
All right.
He drops your card.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know, are we gonna be on the list for fixing the roads? I know it's not gonna be this year now, cause it's too late, but, when are roads gonna get some work done on?
Well, we are in the process of trying to get grant money to do that, to fix our streets. And a lot of, especially the street that you're referring to is the street that I live on. And of all people, I've been wanting that street fixed for the longest, because we probably have one of the worst streets in this town. It's bad, you've been down, so, I of all people wanna see that street fixed. And of course, they've been doing sewer work down there. It's still, they still gonna have to bring in some more heavy equipment. And we wanna make sure before we do anything to that particular street, Bass Street, that they got all that work done that they're gonna have to do down there, put in those big, concrete, manholes in.
Right.
I think they brought in about 6 to 8 of them down there, that's gonna be used in completion of the sewer system. So, it would tear that street up, and we don't want to repave it before all that work has been done. But we all concerned about that work getting done, but we're gonna move forward with doing the worst streets.
Okay, so we will be on the list.
We're gonna be on the list, because I think most people who've been down that, I guess that's the northern end of Bass Street, would, agree with you that it definitely needs fixing, so.
I have a question. You made the statement that you're trying to get grants. Do y'all have a grant writer on staff?
We are working with grant writers right now. We've been working with grant writers, but we're in the process of, getting the grant writers for our town.
Well,
That's being trained now.
I'm a trained grant writer.
Oh, are you? Okay, we'll take that on advisement.
Good to know.
That's good to know. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Steve.
board, good evening, everybody. I don't want to take up much of your precious time. This wasn't on my agenda, but you spoke about the roads, all the roads in Allen County, messed up. Is there any money coming in from the, infrastructure bill that was passed in Washington? Tell me about that later. My concern right now is going down, Martin Luther King Avenue, like going down, Mr. Tisdale House. I think I spoke to y'all about this before, on that embankment, you know what I'm talking about, on that left side there? That's dangerous, okay? We'll talk about that later too. Now, turn on the corner store, right down by the cemetery. get ready to make that right hand turn, that's dangerous. That this there, you know what I'm talking about? That is dangerous, dangerous.
It's gonna fall in.
Hopefully you can get some kind of reflection to put there. I mean, that is really, really dangerous and scary. Thank you.
I'll reflect.
Right there in front of the city.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Right
out on the road. Good job.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
it's Lee's time, and my neighbor up the street, they blow their leaves in the ditch, and I'm downstream, and I get everybody leaves. Sometimes I come home, I can't even get in my door for that waving in the water. But I can't do it, but I have family come take care of my leaves. We bag ours, so I don't put mine in the ditch. Because you know where my property is, I'm down here. I get everybody water. So if my neighbor blowing theirs in the ditch, you know, when that water come, the leaves come in there, they water go down here. So me out there, trying to, I keep mine unstopped. If I don't, I come with a big family. And it helps me.
Okay.
We used to have a thing that suck like a suck kind. What happened to that thing? Maybe I need to know.
It broke down.
It still broke down.
Yeah,
That's my problem.
okay. All right. Thank you.
Do we still, pick up the leaves if they're in bags?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still taking.
Do we notify the people then to start putting them in bags until our equipment's fixed? I should mind that.
We could, yeah, we could do that.
But if they would bag them, you know, then we could go by. They call City Hall and let them know, you know.
Yeah, we can do that.
My thing is, if you bag them and you put them out there, they sit out there 2 months before anybody picks them up.
That's why if we call City Hall,
Call
to let them know
them.
they
And
can.
notify
If they notify them, they'll pick them up.
I mean, is it not a schedule for that, to pick the limbs and leaves and stuff up? Why?
Well, only because we don't know, people put them out at various times.
I understand, but they can put them out a certain time of the month and you have a truck to pick them up.
Well, we have a scheduled time for debris and that kind of stuff, but bag leaves, we have not set a particular schedule on picking those up. But if you put them out and you just notify us that you got them out, we make sure the guys go out and pick them up. All right, is anyone else?
I just had a question.
Okay.
Can I come say for you?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Bye.
I wonder what we gotta do to get a restaurant? I mean, Bob they getting Jacks, they getting everybody.
Oh, you mean a franchise?
Somebody.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't want to sit down there.
It may be a while, it may be a little while, but.
What's wild, huh? What you gotta do?
Gotta get somebody with some money to bring.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
working
that's a
on that.
franchise.
Yeah, so you're thinking in terms of a franchise.
So what empty buildings do we have? Cause I've heard a lot of people want to bring some franchise. They just can't get no buildings.
Franchises, they wanna build their own building, they wanna come, they're not looking to, get space, or buy, purchase, or lease space from anyone, they wanna build their building and go from there.
Now, y'all making it open when they wanna come get with us.
What?
What you just say you gotta promote? Why? Promote, tell them come get with us.
See, most franchises want you to have a particular number of citizens in your community before
Okay,
they
so
go.
we don't have the numbers?
We don't have the numbers, but there is one that's leaning toward coming here. And so most of the franchises, we don't, they want the numbers. But I think, especially up on Highway 64, they know that that's a high-traffic area. And it's gonna be more so now, starting next year in particular with the factory, or with the plant being built. So I think our chances are greater now. Our chances are greater now of getting
We
one.
had us in Subway, that was like, what, 1997?
Yeah, that's been a while.
Mike that runs back and told me the other day that his
Okay.
business is
All right then, so we will move forward with the other business on our agenda. At this particular time, we're going to move into the phase of old business. Water, wastewater separation, if you want to discuss.
I had asked, to separate the water and sewer, and I think it said it was a recommendation from the comptroller, I need to correct that. That was a recommendation from Robert Kelly doing the rate study. He still stands by his recommendation, but after speaking with our auditor and the detail that will go into separating the water and sewer completely, I mean, you're talking about lines, meters, it is more than just separating funds. So I would ask to, reconsider that at this time, where, we can take a year or so, some more time to breakdown numbers on assets and things before, doing that.
Okay.
Do you wanna table it like for 6 months
Well,
and
y'all
view it
already
again?
We've
voted.
already, we voted on it, if you recall, we voted
Yeah,
on it
yeah.
to. So
'Cause
we wanna
that's
recall
gonna be
that.
pretty detailed and difficult, and, that's his recommendation, it is not required, but he is making the assumption that the state at some point is going to require, but right now it's
It's
not
not,
required.
and the comptroller's office has stated that.
So we're gonna be getting two separate bills?
No, I'm sorry.
Are we gonna be getting two separate bills, one for
No, no,
water
no,
and one
no.
for sewage?
No.
Okay. Cause y'all don't deliver bills, that's why my water got cut off too much.
Well, that's a whole, I mean, we have
We
to,
ain't gonna talk about that.
okay, so we have to make sure that, so I think what I tried to bring out early on in the meeting is that, once our citizens' comments of session has gone past, then the rest of the meeting is dedicated to taking care of the business of the town.
If I can't talk, I'm going home.
Well,
Y'all have a good night.
yeah, I mean, we can't discuss, everything, with the citizens. We have to, a lot of time slot for that.
So I'm asking if you could reconsider that at this time.
Rescind the vote.
Okay,
I said,
all right, the motion's been made and met with the second that we rescind that vote that we previously made.
Yeah.
Concerning the separation of, the water and wastewater system. So all those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. And those opposed? All right. Oh, man.
Once you start dealing with them meters.
Okay, yeah, so that's quite an undertaking, but now that we know,
Right.
it's nothing that the state is requiring, particularly our.
Right now, anyway.
Right, so our comptroller let us know that. All right, water, wastewater rate ordinance, second reading. All right. So, we are aware of our second reading. Oh, well, we are aware of what's going on with our water, wastewater ordinance. And so, we want to, have a motion that this be considered the second reading for our, water, wastewater rate ordinance.
Motion to consider because we have second reading. Please.
I second the motion.
All right, the motion's been, made and met with a second that this be considered the second reading for our water, wastewater rate ordinance. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. And those opposed? All right, motion carried. Water leak adjustment policy. And we will need a motion to consider this as the second reading for our water leak adjustment policy.
I make a motion, a second reading of the
All
water
right.
leak policy.
Okay? The motion has been made and seconded that we consider this the second reading of our water leak adjustment policy. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. And those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, new business. Apply for civic or event center purchase and/or repair grants. Okay. And do you wanna elaborate, or you want me? Okay. Okay, so what we are considering is applying for a grant for a civic center or event center purchase. And, or repair grant, however we want to read. What we were considering was the Bland property. And, we know that we could get the grant money. We probably were looking at, probably up to 200,000. But we need to purchase the building. We have to have the building, and then, of course, we would have to go, we would have to put forth money, to rehab it and make it that. But for the purpose of the grant, all we would have to make sure, that some events that would qualify us for the grant, as we hold some kind of, civic events there. Or it can be used, also for, if we had art, or any art, or sculptures, all that. So all that would fall within the realm of, something that would be used for, civic events and, anything in the arts, so we would qualify for this arts grant. But we have to make sure that we have a place. And so I want the board to really consider, the purchase of that property,
You said the Bland building?
the Bland building.
Right.
Right next to it, right down there, yeah. It seemed like it would be, big enough. We know the space, it has a lot of space. I could get the exact footage for that. And, otherwise, he's never gonna do anything with it. And so it would just be there. And if we're trying to bring all the other, businesses up to par, then we don't have to work around him, because he and his brother determined they're not gonna move, unless we purchase it.
It's gonna be sitting there.
It's gonna be sitting, yeah.
Last 4 months, everything else we do.
Yeah.
So I'll make the motion that we try to get the grant to purchase the property.
Okay. All right. The motion has been made and met with a second that we apply for this civic and event center purchase and our repair grant. So all those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. Okay. We really wanna make something happen with that property.
That'd be nice for the children too.
Oh, yeah, so several different events can take place in there, but we're gonna have to, of course, after we purchase, we're gonna have to do some rehab. And that would be where the next monies would come in. But if we get the grant money for, the purchase of the building, then we can go forward with that. You know, come up with the money for the, construction. All right, next item on the agenda under new business is a lead service line inventory grant. Do we have something? We have something.
The service line grant, Mayor.
Is really,
It is to, do a complete
yeah.
inventory.
Mhm.
It's a 15% match. It goes up to 250,000, up to, that don't mean you actually need that much, but it's up to that amount. It is for cities that do not have the manpower to complete the inventory, which we would in that category.
Okay, what is this consist of? This is where these people would go into homes and collect water for the grant, to see if there was lead there, or what would it, or it would be in the
Matt,
pipes?
Matt will address.
Pipes, and,
The EPA updated their rules for the lead service, the lead and copper rules this year. And by the end of 2024, we have to have an inventory of everybody's service line, when it was put in, what it's made out of, and we have to verify it. And they want to know the age of the houses as well. So there's a lot of data collection. We have 608 active and a little over 700 homes total, I believe.
So they're going to the lines, and they're gonna
Yes.
find out about the lines.
They want to know what everything is.
Okay.
To guarantee there's no lead left. And this grant should help us be able to hire some extra manpower, get people come in to help us with that.
And if y'all will recall, this is in keeping with that, when Robert and Miss Annie was here,
Oh,
when
yeah.
they talked about this has to be done next year.
Right.
It's gotta be done.
By November or October of next year. So,
Well, I make a motion that we go ahead and apply for that grant also. Second.
all right, then the motion has been made, thank you, Matt, and met with the second that we, apply for this lead service, line inventory grant. All those in favor, well, do we have that motion?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a second to that? All right, the motion's been made, met with a second that we apply for this, lead service line inventory grant. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, motion carried. Okay, community partnership. And I think, notices went out for all of those who were, interested in the community partnerships. And I believe that's why Miss Jill Holland stayed around, to participate in that. Did anyone get that notice, or? I know some folk responded, but I don't know exactly how many.
Did you mean about, that was gonna be discussed at the meeting tonight? The little
Yes.
note asking you to send a participant from your business or something? Is that?
I believe that, yes, that is
Came
correct.
from the city hall, right?
Yes, uh-huh.
I got two.
Oh, okay. All right. So Ms. Jill Holland was here, and she was also here earlier talking to, entrepreneurs or those that are interested in entrepreneurship. But, so she stayed for that as well. And so if you wanted to speak on that briefly, Ms. Holland, or do you want to do that as part of the? Yeah, you can just give, if you just give us a little bit of, what this is all about.
Okay, all right, I'm Jill Holland, like the mayor said, and I met a lot of you all in the last session. I work for the Southwest Tennessee Development District in Jackson, and I was also mayor of the city of McKenzie for 12 years. So, I know that one of the things that we did in McKenzie years ago, actually, when I first became mayor, we had a huge town event called Reimagine McKenzie. And we came in and we had whiteboards, or the big posters set up all around, and we just asked people, what do you want to see with recreation? What do you want to see with retail? What do you want to see with the way our town looks? We had about 10 different areas. Then we divided everybody there up. And we also fed everybody, so that gets them in.
That brings me in.
But we also fed everybody, and they came in, and we advertised this all over. So we had probably, at least 100 people, maybe 150 people that came to it, and we're not that big. And then what we did was, we divided the people into groups, and everybody went up to their whiteboard, and they would say, this is what I'd like to see with recreation. For instance, I'd like to see a splash pad, I'd like to see well, we didn't have pickleball courts then. But, you know, we would like to see walking trails. We had people from the young to the, you know, the senior citizens. And with retail, y'all were talking about the retail, what would you like to see? Well, we had people that wanted Target, we had people that wanted Outback. And of course, the way that works, I'll just go ahead and tell you, because we've had lots of people that said, you know, we wanted the restaurants. These retail establishments only go certain places. It depends on the traffic counts of those places, and it has to be huge. I know when we finally got a Dollar Tree, I had probably been to Memphis back and forth for about 3 years, meeting with the developer for Dollar Trees in that area. And so when you want a restaurant, I know we had Burger King that wanted to come into McKenzie, but the exact spot that he wanted, the owner wouldn't sell it except for some phenomenal price that nobody on this side of the sun would have bought. So you're working with a lot of that, and like the mayor said, a lot of them want the building that they want to build the building, and then you have the problem with people won't sell the property, or you've got to have somebody with enough money to buy the franchise. So there's a lot there, but with Blue Oval, just right around the corner from you all, a lot of that will start happening. Just give it time. The same thing with housing. Housing was one of the things that we had up on our whiteboards. And then what we did was put people into committees, okay? Who will volunteer tonight to be, you know, to work with recreation? Who will volunteer to work with adding festivals or making the festivals bigger and better in McKenzie? Who will volunteer to, you know, work on the Main Street committee? And then those committees would meet every month, or we started out meeting about every 2 weeks, and then it went to every month. So they all had goals. They came to the city board meetings and said, this is what we would like to do. And as a result, we did get the splash pad because the people were the ones telling us, this is what we want. We later added the pickleball courts because this was what, you know, they wanted. We started a beautification thing in the downtown because that was what they wanted. When these different retailers drive into your town, you don't know it. Yeah. Mayor Bowden doesn't know it a lot of times. And they'll look at your town, and the way our town looked, it looked like a World War II bomb had gone off. So storefronts were closed, and we talked about a lot of this in the last meeting. And your town, the way your downtown looks, because it's a reflection of your community, your town, when they drive through, it signifies the kind of workers they're going to get. If they see neat, clean, yards mowed, yards picked up, they know that those workers are going to care about their job. If they see a lot of trash around, then they know that that's not the kind of worker we want, and they're going to drive to Toon or Bolivar or Mercer or someplace else, and you'll never even know that they were here. So this is something that we could start in February if you would like, because the kids have a lot of things that they have asked for. For instance, one of the things is movies. Well, you may not have a movie theater, but if you had a group working together, a church or a civic group, they could have, you know, movies in the park once a night during the summer, and they could serve popcorn, and you could have it with, and they're pretty cheap, those big blow up movie things. You can do all kind of things with that, and it would be a cooperative effort because we have the churches working with us. It's just, hey, let us know what you're having, and we'll help you advertise. I know we had one church that they took the kids, a lot of the kids during the summer, they took them for about 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, And they would come and they learned how to cook, and they learned how to make, just small household repairs, because so many kids don't know how to do either one. And they cooked a big meal for the parents, I think the last day, but these were kids that could go back home and they knew how to boil an egg, they knew how to make, lasagna. I think they learned how to make lasagna or spaghetti, and they learned how to repair different things at home. You've got churches with very talented people, and they could have an art camp. And so for that week, they could, and people will commit for short periods of time. Say, could you just do this for 1 week, just 1 week, during summer. And you can also, the high school kids, and Angie and I were talking about this earlier, have to have so many community service hours with the lottery scholarships, a lot of these other scholarships. And if you go and talk to the guidance counselors and say, I need kids who are good in music, and then they could work with the church or with somebody who has volunteered, the adult, at the end of the week or two, then they could have a community performance, maybe at 4th of July, or, during your Main Street Festival or something. You could also have, we were looking at like arts and crafts camp, you could do that. And some of the festivals that you all have are great. Well, I don't know how, Mayor Bowden and the council and Angela, and I see you looking at your clock. No, hurry up, I promise. I've been doing the same thing. But they can't do this also. If you want to expand trunk or treat, if you want to expand what you do at Christmas, then it needs to be a community effort, a volunteer effort to say, hey, we will volunteer to get people singing Christmas carols going up and down the street, or we will get people to, roast chestnuts, out here, or dress up like Dickens characters and go up and down the street. Whatever, when you go to some of these towns that have that, it's not the city government that's doing it, it is a whole community. It's kind of like Garrison Keeler, there won't be anybody left to see the stuff going on because everybody's in the performance. But that's what you want here, and you can do that here. So if you want to do that, we could plan for a meeting. I don't know if I'm available the February one, but I'll send everything to you all so you can get it started, or I can try to come if you want to do that.
All right. Well, I know Jill is she makes herself available to help us in this town, and so we're grateful for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. And I know you got to drive
All the way back to McKinsey.
all the way back to McKinsey. So.
And I welcome you all to come visit us there anytime.
All right, we will.
You retail people, the Merchants Outlet Mall and Moms, that's Moms, and the Antique Mall are there, so you can get great ideas from them. But go to Covington too.
Yeah, Angie and I went to Covington with her, and
Yeah.
we had a great day there.
Yes.
We
Learned a lot.
ate at a great restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and saw all the wonderful things they have in their downtown.
Yeah.
Very impressive, yeah.
And y'all got a diamond in the rough out here. There's a lot you can do,
Yeah.
a whole lot you can do.
Thank you,
Okay,
Jill.
thank you.
All right. Okay, Industrial and Economic Board. Okay. And so, we knew that we had to have, an industrial board. And so we, reached out to several people that we thought would be great partners on our industrial board, as it's in the process right now being recertified. Of course, our, Will is working, Will is working with us on that. And hopefully that will be completed soon. But we needed an industrial board, so we reached out to all these individuals and they agreed to serve on the board. Mr. Evelyn Robinson, Mr. Alan Ferguson, Mr. Reginald Harris, Ricky Griggs, Bessie Johnston, and from our wastewater, Matthew Harris, And from our board, Mr. Jesse Giles and myself will also be a member of that board. So we have to have an active industrial board, so once we are certified, we can start advertising, and hopefully we'll be able to draw some industry in this 100 acres of great industrial property that we have. And hopefully we'll bring some folk here that will be able to set up and become maybe suppliers to Blue Oval. Because we certainly, we have been told that it's a great spot, and the infrastructure is there, Southwest Electric, gas from Bolivar, all these things are in place there. Whoever develops it has to just take it from the road out to their property. So we want to move forward. So we got an industrial board there, and we also needed a charter committee. And so we put together a charter committee, and we were asked to use our board members because we have to redo our charter. You know, it's outdated. We've updated a couple of things, but we have to redo our charter that date way back to early 1900. So it needs to be brought up to date. Board member Jesse Giles, Debbie Burking, Ernest Perla, and myself are on that board. And our attorney suggested that we bring at least a couple of outside people that are not board members on there. And we suggested Mr. James Belling, he agreed to serve on that board as well, to get our charter up to date. He's very familiar with this town and everything that has to do with this town, and also Mr. Elvis White. So those two people. So what we are asking you to do is just give us the go-ahead or the okay for these two particular boards, these individuals.
I make a motion to go ahead with both of these board members.
I'll second the motion.
All right, the motion's been made and met with a second that we go ahead and make these board members official for our industrial board and our charter commission. All those in favor, let it be known by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, will we notify when we're gonna have the meeting?
We will, yes.
Okay.
We're in the process of putting together our bylaw. Well, okay, I was speaking of the industrial board, but once our bylaws, and we hopefully will be able to have our first meeting in the month of January, and probably with our charter committee as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be notified when we get together and start doing the work on our charter, updating it. Okay? So we needed the board's approval to move forward on that. Okay, so right now we're down to our other business, utility adjustments and charge-offs. You probably had an opportunity to look at it. So we'll just need a motion to,
I got a question about
Yes.
the utility service charge-offs. We've got one here that's $167.35. Is that for 1 month that they skipped out on? Because usually, you know, if by the 25th, 26th, if you haven't paid the bill, they shut them off. How come these bills are so high?
Let me see which one it is. Hold on. Okay, I haven't been given a copy of the bill with the ticket. I can find out and answer that later. Like you said, they are supposed to, be,
they moved and
I
no one knew.
some of them are high with leaks when they skip out.
Already.
Already, now
That's
some
what
of them, not all of
they had
them.
a leak and never got fixed.
Some of them.
Otherwise,
But when we shut them down on the 26th or whatever, there is a lock being put on them, correct?
yes, Matt takes care of that.
Right, that's what I thought, but, no, that's awful high. I know mine's 50 a month, but still, it's high.
Unless they did have a leak.
Yeah. Okay,
Make a motion, we accept the utility adjustment and charge out.
Second.
all right, the motion has been made, and that with the second, that we, approve our utility bill adjustments and charge-offs. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. All those opposed? All right, motion carried. Okay, our paid invoices.
Make a motion, we pay our bills.
Okay.
We seen them already.
They've seen them, all right. Okay, so the motion's been made and met with the second that we,
Pay our bills.
pay our bills. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. Those opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, report from officers, staff, board members, okay. Chief, what you got?
Everything's going good at the department. We've recently upgraded our RMS system to where our guys can actually be more mobile when doing their reports and e-ticketing and stuff like that. We was able to get quite a few of our old printers that we used to have in our cars up and going, try to get as many of those going as we can. We've made some adjustments to our schedule, so with it being the holidays and stuff, we wanted extra patrol vehicle to be going at nighttime. So Corporal Williams has been moved over to supervising the night shift, and so we got a lot more coverage at nighttime as well. This Saturday, with the Christmas event going on, me and Andy spoke earlier, we're gonna shut the street down about 12 o'clock, give everybody a chance that it's gonna be coming in and doing any type of decorating and stuff. They have plenty enough time, so they don't have to worry about doing anything last minute.
Okay.
So, that's pretty much, that's it.
Okay. All right, appreciate that. All right. Okay, yeah, Matt, you got anything?
The mayor already touched on the project for the lift station. They are starting to bring at least the concrete forms. They are starting, some of that stuff starting to show up. And then the other project we have going on for Cameron and cleaning the whole sewer system, they're almost done with that. We're probably 98% done.
And that's
Ready
been
to wrap
going on
up.
for quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they'll move into smoke testing, here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
If anybody that has drains they don't use, I'd advise them to pour some water down them, just to prevent some of that from coming back up. But they're gonna let us know, we're gonna notify everybody as they actually start, on what days they're gonna be doing it.
Okay. All right. Okay, let me see, Matt with our fire department? Matthew?
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Members of the board. I just have a few things. You got your report. I recently applied for a VT grant. It's 100%. They pay 100% of the grant if we get accepted. It goes through this state fire marshal's office, but it's a state grant.
Okay.
What I applied for was some breathing apparatus. We have 3 breathing apparatus that are over 20 years old, and so those are needing to be replaced. And then I applied for 4 more for this truck that's coming next year.
Okay.
Still looking to chase down a hard date on, or at least a soft date on when that will be delivered.
Okay.
No luck there yet.
How much was the grant for?
Everything in total is around 69,000.
And you said it is, 100%?
It's 100%.
That's good.
69,000 or 6,000?
69,000.
Okay.
I hope we get that.
I applied for 5 sets of turnout. 2 would be for replacement pieces for stuff that doesn't fit. Three are new, we have 3 new firefighters that are needing, full set, so I went ahead and applied for 5 sets of turnout gear.
Good.
PPE. And then, I'm not sure if we have a burn policy, control burn policy in the city. I'm gonna, as soon as I have some time, I wanna get down to City Hall and research, whether or not we have any kind of policy or not. And then I wanna maybe look at writing a policy.
Gotcha.
Just, that way, we've been having some problem over here on, this other, Vine Street. Someone's been burning, the neighbors complaining,
Okay,
and I really can't enforce anything if we don't have a policy, so.
okay, so good.
So, that's, I think that's about all that I have.
All right.
Y'all got anything for me?
All right, well, one thing, do you still have some more of those, fire,
Smoke alarms?
smoke alarms?
We do, we have them up there.
All right, so all we have to do is,
Just, yeah, there was
Notify.
someone came up today and, got some.
okay.
I need a couple.
Now, you said that.
We stay right.
If we haven't,
Close together.
if you haven't been changed in 10 years, you probably need new.
Probably.
Recommend it.
Yes.
I was, even.
Because ours have
even if
never
you
been
have-
changed, so.
Even if you have, some that have the batteries that you gotta replace
Yeah.
every month, just come up and get them, because these here, they're good for 2 years.
Oh,
You know I need it.
So, yeah, we'll make sure we do that.
Yeah, either call me or,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
up there,
Well, I'll
I'm
do
usually
it.
up there several days out of the week.
Okay,
Never changed since we built the house. so we
Oh,
know
okay.
that.
Okay.
But I've been changing batteries out.
Yeah.
But they say you need to do this one. It's over 10 years.
This you don't have to worry about because the team, they get.
We stay right close together, so,
Yeah.
Jesse, you do yours, you just sit on mine.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, ma'am. All right. Okay. And, okay, yeah, library, Linda, what you have for us?
Okay, so we had one program, one story time with, where we had milk, cookies and, juice for kids, this last month. And, we're planning on having another one maybe the 19th.
Okay.
Milk and cookies, maybe Santa and story time,
Okay.
3 o'clock. Okay, and, we was gonna have, our library board meeting has been changed from the second Tuesday till tomorrow. Okay, and we'll have our library board meeting at 5:30.
Okay.
5:30, and we have to vote because there's, I gotta have a quorum there because
Okay.
they gotta vote on our policies.
All right.
Because, they have to be updated for the state regulations before January, so.
All right. Good.
So, yeah, that's what we got.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Linda. All right, so activities, Christmas downtown, as you all know, December 9th at 5 p.m. And, the chieftain already said they shutting down the street, so everybody will have a chance to get in and get set up, early. Any comment about anything regarding our, Christmas, downtown shindig?
So, if it's storm, we still gonna have it, right?
That's really supposed to storm, I think it's like a chance, 60% chance of
I haven't heard
Saturday
that
showers.
there was a, is it?
No, it's supposed to rain, might clear out early.
Rain on Saturday?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but yes, for rain.
I looked today, but it said.
What percentage?
Saturday, 58%.
What? Lucy.
Lucy, you know something we don't know?
No.
We're gonna pray that we get, we can get through this.
Mine's
You missed about 2%.
Says lunchtime.
Okay.
But it's probably 67 degrees.
It's warm, it's gonna be warm. And we're grateful for that. Okay. So, so planning and zoning, the board members, so we are meeting, this is a call meeting, December 11th at 5 o'clock. So that's next, Wednesday, and, myself, Tommy, and Mr. Jerry. That's, next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Okay, breakfast with the Chamber of Commerce, December the 13th. So, I think all you board members got that invite, right?
I only submitted the ones that said they couldn't.
Oh, the one that said they could attend that morning. So, as a member of the Board of Chamber of Commerce, we'll be cooking pancakes and sausage.
Wait a minute.
I thought I did, I don't know.
It's 7:30, that means from 7:30 up until, I don't know, 10. Something like that. Okay.
We all going.
No, I'm not going.
You not
But
going?
it's that can go, because we are chamber members.
No, I don't eat breakfast.
Oh, yes, don't do breakfast, okay.
We ain't gonna drink coffee.
Yeah,
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, we said we meet on the 11th.
At 5?
Okay.
5 p.m.
Okay.
All right, and then, of course, next we have December 21st, that's the employee Christmas luncheon. Angie, you wanna speak on that, or we got all that?
What time
We
that's
got
gonna
that
be?
taken care of.
What time next week?
That, what's the time of that, 12? Yeah, that's at 12. Are we doing that at the senior citizen building, or we
No,
doing?
it won't be here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do that here. We'll do that here.
It's at 12.
That's at 12. Huh?
Did you say?
Oh,
And the
well,
nice one.
and it was, Thanksgiving
And our
was very
plus
nice.
one.
Thanksgiving was nice. I
It
must
was
admit.
really nice, very nice.
Yeah.
I guess this one ain't gonna be nothing like that one then.
Well, you know, it was nice.
It was good Thanksgiving.
It was
It
nice.
was much, did. It was real
Well,
nice.
it was, yeah.
It was real nice.
Oh, I can't remember back that far.
Worse than I thought. Okay, holiday closures, December the 25th, 26th, and then again, January the 1st. Of course, we know those dates. We have, Christmas and Christmas days, day after Christmas, then we got January the 1st.
All right, y'all have a good time.
And then January the 8th, this one we're gonna meet.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Y'all need to decide on a date. I'll be out of town next week.
So that's the January meeting?
Yeah, the
We need to,
January.
make sure that we, come up with a meeting that we can all work with. So,
So we're not gonna do it the first month in January.
that's
That's actually New Year.
Yeah.
That's New Year.
We can't do it that day.
So the 8th, you said you gonna be out of town on the 8th?
Yes.
Where you gonna be? No, anyway, never mind.
But the third Monday, I
Okay.
can't be here, cause we.
In other words, you didn't approve it.
We be on the third Monday.
I mean, like I said,
Oh, the day after New Year? So,
That's right.
that's Tuesday, that's the day after New Year.
I mean, I won't be here, you still have me.
Or the second would be fine.
We just do it seven.
So let's do it January 2nd?
Yeah,
Everybody good?
second.
Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all will be over your holiday, you know, festivities.
I don't drink.
Well, all right. Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
If there's no more business, the motion will be made, we adjourn, and so everybody, yeah. Come on out Saturday, come on out
Yeah, come on out Saturday, yeah.
If it's raining, just come on, bring your umbrella, come on.